Ciao a tutti, it's Ariam. It's been a little while. Not my biggest break, but yeah, I couldn't record for a little bit. Yeah, this is H3 HC23 round 2. We have Gumber on Cat versus Rasta Ninja. I think that's Dennis on Georgias. Let me just check. No, yeah, that's Dennis. Um, by now round 4 has happened and I've dropped out. Whoops. Mermel was the safe meta call. I don't know how to play Mermel very well, so I just didn't, and I got buried by matchups. You will see in the next 3 videos. Yeah, Yumberman here is into 1-1. He's playing pretty damn aggressively, but his opening hand is not the greatest. So it's gonna be quite hard, and he also now just drew gear, so I don't think he's gonna win this game. Just a hunch. Breaker's kill, as always, but that gets my Meister. It can happen. Oh, Meister can stop Breaker's kill? I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's actually awesome. Anyways, Dennis is just walling up here, and can you blame him? You don't really need to play very aggressively to beat really. Oh, he's playing Yugi Karakuri, right? And he goes into Stardust. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Although Rasta doesn't have any interrupts, but Gumber doesn't also have any resources. But now he's able to go into BLS, so maybe he can turn this around. Not sure why he's playing BLS, but sure, buddy. Anyways, especially since versus Gyrias, you want to end games quickly, so it coming out is not too likely. Also versus Mirmos, you want to end games quickly. Versus Cat, it's unlikely to stick, even if games go on for a while. So that's why I don't think BLS is very good. But yeah, he tried to make a comeback with it, but that didn't happen. Anyways, he draws a pretty good opening hand. He picks Karkar over Sanctum. I'm not sure whether that's correct play or not, but I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird, especially since it's Kyuubi Karakuri. But at the same time, Sanctum is not that strong versus Kyrgyz in general, so maybe Karkar is the correct play, especially since it is turn 1. Probably is the correct play. Anyways, he goes for 1-1 but gets Blackhorned. Not sure why Gumber isn't attacking with Mermelio. Did it get finished? Chain? Probably, yeah. Then he opens 2 Soul Charges with no engine, that sucks. 2 Trap Stun to the bank. He top decks armor, so that's very good, but Gumber has knock, but he top decks into fucking Gear. So he's back online. Gumber meanwhile is playing hands too, apparently. Probably in the side deck. Draws Macrocosmos. Clutch the bank right there. Clutch trap stun right there. And now you can go for soul charge to recoup these losses. A big break can be not as big a break if you also top deck perfectly. But Gumber for some reason kept Maxi into Yurgias. I'm not entirely sure why. Because he went first. I don't know, seems kind of weird to me. It draws into Second Reader, goes for Civil Mountain, gets Bottomless, goes into your Gigantex, gets TH End. Goes for the macro. Did he run out of armors? Yes. Yes, he did. And he goes for... he went for no more summon Cycle Reader into the Karakuris. Alright. Alright. We have AirFc versus Molson. Molson with Gravekeeper artifacts. Goes for Sanctum into Murmaleo and not Sanctum. That's interesting. He's playing Mirror Force? Or... okay. I'm sorry for spoiling the surprise, Molson. Why are you playing Mirror Force though? Serious question. Also, why did she... I don't know. You know, like normal summoning commandant into set 5 is kind of weird, you know? Airfalk was also he's playing fairies. Airfalk is playing fairies. I might have forgot last game, but that's still fucking weird. And it bugged. Ugh. Oh god. Right. You know, I just noticed like Herald is such a strong card versus a spy here. Yeah. Falco won this, which is interesting. You know, in the meantime between round 1, watching round 1 replays and round 2 replays, I forgot what this was, what people were playing, and you know, I'm still baffled at the fucking Azathoth. And frankly, even the Artemis, since you know there's not many great counter traps in the format. You know, it's mostly just Warning, Wiretap, and Blackhorn, which are the kind of conventional traps you would run. So you're kind of forced to run shit like Dark Bribe if you want to play Artemis in a meaningful way. Set honest like it's 2010. The Wiretap is putting in work, I gotta say. Was the 101 really necessary? He could have just gone for duality instead. Just run over with Commandant. Anyways, Molson opens 2 Battle Traps. Again, I'm not sure what the synergy with Battle Trap is in this deck. Like, at all. Like, you know, I see it in stuff like gadgets. Not really here. You know, you want you know, spy is fine if they attack it most of the time, and if not, you already have artifacts to serve as battle traps, kinda, but better because you can use them as just traps, so they're better automatically. Grabs Rite of Spirit. What does he have? Oh, sure, that is a play. Tribute set big attack. We got exit on action going on, but can you even activate it? Don't think so. That was nasty. But, you know, they could have been a Gravekeeper's Shaman. You never know. Another battle trap. This game is going quite long, though. They've already gone through half their decks. Jalandu, normal summon Kagetokage. Wow! Jalandu is such a great card. Trust me, bro. My father works for Konami and he's told me that Jalandu is totally super strong. Man. I think our Falco's got this, though. I guess that Mirror Force did something. Fuck. Ah, yeah, Force back. Well, Molson's bought himself a turn. Not sure what happened there, but whatever. Molson's stalling for his life. Right. Next up, we have Ghost Rider versus Nayutsa. Shoutouts to Nayutsa for donating to the prize pool, by the way. Anyways, Ghost Rider with Girgas versus Nayutsa with Nayutsa versus with Madolce. Ghost Rider is on Gear Maleo, which is interesting. Not gonna go for rank 4 though, which is interesting also. Hands will be putting it a bit more work if it wasn't for the Maxi, maybe. No, it wouldn't, but you know. They will be plussing more. And Nayutsa is gonna go off because yeah. That happens sometimes with Gigas. Didn't happen in my matches though. Okay, no, it happened once or twice. Once, I think. Maybe. But you know, I would have liked it if it happened more. You know? Maybe when I'm going second. Frankly, even when I'm going first, I kinda need that to win. Anyways, jokes aside, Nayutsa with the great Messengelato set 5 opening. Here again, Ghost Rider is playing very passively, which not entirely sure whether that's the correct playstyle to take versus Nayotsa versus Madolches. Because you know they can kind of turn games around with Tiramisu, especially if what you have is monsters. You know, now he's gonna go for the push. Top deck Suit Cake can finally go off, kinda. Not really going off, but you get what I mean, right? Right, guys? He's still dead. Oof, and the Ragnar Zero on top of that is just mean. Anyways, I used it with set Fire Hand, Ghost Rider with normal Murmulio. It's 2014 all over again. You got MST. MST Wars. Holy fuck. Anyways, Ghost Rider not seeing many traps, I gotta say. Certainly useful versus the Ice Head. But you know, he's gonna get a lot of damage in. Lucky for Nayutsa, he has the instant fusion to go for a big combo. And he can break the board, probably, maybe. I don't know. Not quite. Oof. Rip. Rip Bozo. Oof. That is unfortunate. It was unfortunately for him, he doesn't have Mew Wheel in hand. Otherwise, he'd be in a much better position right now. Yeah, he'd probably be fine otherwise. Yeah. Man, normally a pop ticket, then Ragnar Zero. It's just mean. Anyways, now we have Talik versus Shama. Shama, I assume, with Mythic Rulers, Talik with some artifact traptrix deck. I don't know which. Knowing Talik could be anything really. He's playing Void Trapple though, which is interesting, and you know it's a lot better in this match, frankly. At least it does something unlike TTHN. You know, Talik is seeming like he's in a good spot because you know he has both Maxi and Crow in his hands, so Shama is forced to fucking compose some Mermolio out of desperation. Goes for a big soul charge. Frankly, I would have DD crowed the tuner to avoid them getting Stardust because we can deal with everything else, but Stardust not really, not Stardust skill drain at least. So that seems like a misplay on Tegalik's part to me. But at the same time, DD crowing the Dragolurus is very strong. So I can see why he didn't do it. Seems a little bit risky, but in my opinion, it is the correct play. Shama with the Angel of Zera coming in. Not sure at 4 though. Maybe bottomless. Would make sense, frankly. Oof, triple moral attack. Anyways, Tegalik decides to go for Murmulio over Karkar turn 1, which, to be honest, makes sense because one, this is Mythic Ruler, so Karkar is pretty safe. Sorta. And more importantly, he didn't open enough back row to feel safe. So I guess it makes sense. But he did. Okay, he just had. Yeah, if he just had debunk, yeah, Murmulio was definitely the correct play in my opinion over Karkar to ensure survival. Gets bottomless. You kind of have to get through the bottomless eventually. Breakthrough gets big up that gets breakthrough skill, but he has he has another body anyways up, so he can make play this again. But he has a second breakthrough skill, and that's gonna not be enough. But could have been good. He goes for a Star Spark, which is kind of weird because versus Artifact Trappies you kind of want to just make Stardust. But maybe I don't know. Maybe he cut it. Not sure. Anyways, I don't know. Yeah, he does have it. Yeah, not sure why he made the Spark. What does he have in the back rows? Ah, Rivalry. Okay, yeah. No, never mind. I'm tired. I'm gonna go grab an energy drink before I go into the next 4 replays. Um, Bottomless. Yeah. That's a fucking huge void, but doesn't seem like it works. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, void only destroys one monsters. That sucks. But still better than TDHN. In this matchup, I mean, not overall. Alright, so next up we have, let's see, it's Extra Power versus Ultra Plant. Extra Power is on Girgias, Ultra Plant is on Spellbooks, and the Ultra Plant went first, and I think he has full combo, so I think this game 1 is pretty much a wrap. Although Extra has Hope and Girgia gear, Then again, Ultra Plant has also opened the warning, so I think this game one is already won for Plant. He top decks Priestess, that's pretty good. It's Brickroll skilled, gets Wisdom off. Searches Tower. He makes the Ghost of Phoenix. Interesting play. Normal summon Maxi. I mean, yeah, that is the correct play here, to be honest. Hopefully he draws what he needs. Goes for another blue boy, which is weird. Was it? Ah, yeah, it was to go for justice, I think. Anyways, he finally gets Priestess off. He doesn't have any more spells in graveyard, so he can go for the Crescent. He goes for all the Priestesses, and that's game. Ooh, Night Beam, spicy. Anyways, yeah, both players here opened pretty cracked. Extra snipes the warning. That's nasty. Must have been nice to finally get revenge after years of playing Bujins and getting screwed by warning. Anyways, goes full combo, and yeah. Plant goes first. Opens Blue Boy Crescent warning Priestess. I think that's a pretty good start. Yeah. Not entirely sure why he went for Priestess this early. I guess it's to play around the like bottomless. I guess it makes sense. Sure. Anyways, Night Beams the Fate away, I think. So that gets baited. You know, now he can kind of go for just Priestess pop the armor, but you know, breakthrough skill. You know, he can just still run over it or fade it away. Not entirely sure whether fading it away immediately is the correct play, but you know, it is a play that you can make. Extra gets gear off, but no, doesn't get warning. Weird, I guess. Yeah, no, okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. Correct play. You know, Gear Gigantex doesn't kill Priestess, but 101 does, so yeah. Anyways, summons another Priestess, and big eyes. Yeah, that's GG. Right, next up we have Celsius versus me. I gotta relive through this. Alright, so game one. I open shit. I'm playing versus Girgias. He opens Girgia Gear. I have 2 crows in hand. I go for a pretty cool play, admittedly, but you know, he has wired up. Chilling 1 crow, chilling 2 torrential to make Ice Hand and Gigantex mistiming. I think I can do that. I think. Correct me in the comments if you're a judge and I can't. I hope I can. You know, I kind of want Crow to have a use. But yeah, I'm gonna do it into Mind Control, and because I already have Karkar and Murmillo, And I also have a Torrential and Acid Trample, and I draw into Warning and Beagle Touch. Beagle Touch not gonna be very useful. Celsius has Arsenal, Gear Wartap, I send Gear and Accelerator, I go for Normal Summon Murmulio. I draw into Call of Daunted, which is fine, I guess, in this situation. But here I go for a pretty big misplay, in which I go for Bottomless because I didn't respect Exiton enough to search TTHN, because I already had the warning. I'm just kidding, because I kind of forgot to play around Exiton. Brain fart! Anyways, yeah, that's... I might have won this game if had I played around Exiton. Not sure. Maybe yes, maybe not. I don't know. That was painful. Anyways, next up we have Seymour Pusteno versus Lack Extreme, which I think is James Stark. And with Seymour on Spellbooks and James on Murmels. It's kind of weird that only 2 people played Murmels. I would expect more. Since, in my opinion, going into any HC tournament, Murmel is the safe pick, because you have a 50-50 matchup versus at. You have a good matchup versus Gilgias, and your spellbook matchup is not that bad. It's still not the best, but it's fine. It's not as bad as Cat versus Gilgias or Gilgias versus Marbles. So. But Seymour here is taking quite a lot of control, and Laka's hand is not very good. So opening 4 Atlanteans is not great, but he does save it a bit in the top deck with Pike, but unfortunately he gets the Dragoon's Crowd. He draws into Justice, that's nasty. Good ways he goes for a power. Yeah, I don't think Lind is enough to turn this game around. Especially since he can't just crash it all willy-nilly. But he does stop taking to Tejas, which is really, really strong. He does bait the Fate first. And yeah, still can't really do anything. That opening brick was really nasty. But here he opens Tejas, double in the MST Crow, and Soul Charge. Meanwhile, Same opens double Blue Boy, Secrets Masters, Life and Tower. Black Extreme goes for the Tejas play and searches Marksman. Meanwhile, Samo just does spellbook things like spellbook players do, and he goes for power into Fate, which is certainly an A play, and probably not the play I would have done. I probably would have gone for power into Master. Not entirely sure what the correct play here is, because I'm going too fast to tell, but yeah. Goes Eternity, Power, Master. Hits the Dragoons, probably to avoid him getting a rank 4. But, if he has Soul Charge, he can make a rank 4 regardless, so I'm not very sure whether that's the correct play. He gets smacked though for, he doesn't, he can't establish the field advantage fast. In the Spellbook to Mermal matchup, Spellbook's win condition is establishing card advantage. Mermal's win condition is establishing field advantage. How many monsters you got, how much damage can you make, how many monsters can you make. It's kind of an interesting matchup. The 2 decks attack each other in 2 different attack vectors. It's kind of how I put it. But here we see James's Osea, which is a tech if I've ever seen one. This isn't Vegas or Firewater. OCR is fine. I've tried. I've toyed with it. Don't think it's very good though. But here someone goes for power and such. If you can get extra damage versus Mermals, that's good because that means they have less stuff to summon back with with Soul Charge. But at the same time, with this deck, the damage output is so low that they can still resolve Soul Charge just fine. It's not that big of a deal. But it is important. It is more important in other matchups like Gilgas and especially at stopping the Soul Charge by playing aggressively is kind of how you beat Mermals. It's kind of one of their main weaknesses. When they start slow, they don't want to be aggroed out too badly. Anyways, Semo here has Rivalry and Warning, but Luck Extreme has Luck Extreme. He has MST. Luck Extreme has Extreme Luck. Goes for a bunch of damage, and I think James has got this, probably, because, especially since he can't summon Priestess. He's staying alive somehow. Let's see if he draws another spellbook, and he does! He might have something, probably not, but he might have something. He goes to bait equipped. Doesn't have any more spellbooks in graveyard apparently, so he goes for Crescent. Goes for power. Mastery to power. That's not... Is it gonna be... Oh, it is! Wow! That power in the early game really came in clutch. I'm gonna take note of that. Yeah. Anyways. Final game, we have Jazz versus Indicad. Jazz is playing Mermals, and Indicad is playing Girgias. Probably, maybe Girgia Karakuri. Could be, knowing him. Anyways, goes for Undying play. Hand full of monsters with a double controller in hand. But, he has Breaker skill. Meanwhile, Indicad goes for face-up armor, which, is the correct play versus Mermals. They might have infantry, but Marksman is more searchable because of Pike. But at the same time, he didn't search Pike, so. But he can still go for end phase, main phase to Abyss Sphere and search it out, and then normal summon another Pike and discard it and pop and such. So it is the correct play to not set the arbor in this matchup. Anyways, Leo is gonna be a fucking bitch to deal with, or not. He has Darko. Never mind. But I'm not sure if he top decked it or I didn't notice it. I probably didn't notice it, but yeah, Leo is a bitch to deal with in this matchup because unless you have a board wipe, the only real in-engine out is Exiton or Rhapsody in Berserk into with an XYZ monster, and not into a Soul Charge turn. So yeah. Another reason why Rhapsody is very important, but here he goes for Rhapsody into banishing the Breaker skill to have Zen Mains live. That's the biggest Zen Mains. That's gonna be a bitch to deal with, especially since Breakthrough is gone. Is this the game of Zen Mains beatdown? It is! My god. Well, that just happened. Doesn't look like Indica is playing Karakuri, but I see a full house here. um. Anyways, goes for marksman effect into summon dragoons. Um. Not entirely sure why he set the armor, but sure. You know, I'm not a Geargia player, so I still have to learn all of the intricacies. You know, I, I can tell you in which matchups, in what matchups you want to set the armor and what matchups you don't. But, you know, I'm not a Geargia player, so you know, probably a Geargia player is gonna know better. Probably, you know, I've seen Geargia players leave face-up armor versus at, and that's a pretty great way to lose, frankly, unless they searched acid triple. But otherwise, you know, you don't want to give them their moral attack advantage. Even if you risk knock, so less likely. Anyways, soul charge into maxi. That's pretty nice. Plus Kyuga gear. Plus draw into macrocosmos. That's fucking nasty. I think Indicat might have this. You know, I'm starting to think that maybe the Geargia Mermal matchup is not as bad as the Cat to Geargia matchup. Maybe, not sure. You know, I've got to test Geargias versus Mermals, or Mermals versus Geargias, probably the other. You know, Geargias bore me to death. But yeah, you know, you can kind of tell when you're not doing anything to the opponent. But and you know, the thing is like the Cat versus Geargia matchup, Cat doesn't really do anything to Geargias. The Geargia to Mermal matchup, Mermal does a lot to Geargias, but you know, Geargias do also have tools to fight versus Mermals. They just have to get through the marksmans, really. So I don't know, maybe Geargia to Mermal is not as bad as Cat to Geargia, I don't know. But anyways, that is the end of round 2. Leave a like, join the Discord, leave comments, subscribe, ring the bell, all the good shit, and good